Okay guys, what's up? Starting the video this and on this video. Before we get into it, now it's not one of these dumb speculation videos that I find on YouTube where they're like, "Oh, Minecraft 1.21 end update? Is this going to be the next Minecraft update? They're finally going to add the three mobs from the Minecraft Mob Vote 2017." Like none of those stupid things. Like I promise you, it's not one of those kind of videos. I just want to talk about what I think personally. Some things I feel like Minecraft should do, like some things like I'd like to see in the game or changes made. So yeah, and I will talk about the end update or like a end update. I will talk about that of course because I do believe of course the end needs some new stuff. So yeah, now anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. So obviously, let's start off with the end itself. Um the end is pretty bland, and I think a lot of people know that, and it hasn't been updated for about like 7 years at this point. Like the combat update was 2016, and that updated the end, and that's been like 7 years ago now, like 6, 7, I don't know. Yeah, definitely 7, I think. But anyway, yeah. I definitely think they need to add some new stuff to the end, and I feel like with Minecraft Dungeons, they could take some stuff from Minecraft Dungeons and put it in like the game. Like there's with like for example the Nether, like I forgot what video it was from, but I think somebody made a great point about how a lot of the stuff in Minecraft Dungeons in like the Nether DLC is already in Minecraft except for a few things, but a lot of the things in the end DLC is not in the game. So I feel like they could take some inspirations from Minecraft Dungeons. They could also take like some inspiration from the Nether update itself. Like they could add some new cool looking biomes, like a lot like they could obviously add new like forests, but they could also add like there's other stuff they could do. I feel like they could also keep the original biome as well and just add more, kind of like how 1.16 added the other biomes and to the Nether, but still kept the original. They could do that with this one and take some inspiration maybe from some mods. Like there's like some cool mods that add some cool stuff like the better end, better Nether as well. The better Nether and better end like add lots of stuff to the game. And yeah. So obviously, I do think there needs to be an end update at some point in the future, but I do still believe some other things need to be reworked on. Not reworked on, that's not really the word I was looking for, but like needs some updating. And the next thing I think is we should actually have like a farming or like a fishing or a farming and fishing update. Like, so when I say farming and fishing, I mean in a single update because those would be kind of similar. Like farming, it's like crops and stuff, and fishing, like fish. Like, I definitely think we need to update, like especially the farming part. Maybe the fishing part not so much because I mean we could add new fish and stuff, but we could add some new stuff to fishing as well, which I could get into in a second. But like farming, like I mean we did get the composter in 1.14, but there isn't really many plants in the game to be honest. Other yeah, there's lots of trees and stuff, but like there isn't like a lot of different fruits and vegetables that you can just plant. Like, I think there should be a lot more. Like, you have apples, what else? You have berries, potatoes, carrots. Like, you have some stuff, obviously, but you don't have like oranges, lemons, um, what else? We don't have avocados. Like, there's lots of stuff you could add. Like, I think we need more to that. Like, we need to expand that as well. And we also could, like, expand fishing. Like you could add some barrels to the game to put fish on. That's another thing. You could add that specifically like barrels for well there's actually barrels in the game as well, but like crates, that's what I'm looking for. Crates. We could add crates to the game for like farming, uh for different food, so you can put food in a crate and maybe you can mix it with different food, which would be kind of useful. And same as fish as well, like and stuff. And I feel like another cool thing they could do in that kind of update is actually they could update the Nether as well with that a little bit, because they could um there's this cool mod, the Nether Depths mod or whatever it's called, but basically it adds some new fish and stuff, but to the Nether. Like, I think that would be kind of cool. And it adds some new stuff. Like, I think they could also add stuff to that as well. And yeah, so I do think we should have a like kind of an update like that. And another thing, I do think we should have, like, I'm not sure if this should be it's an always be an update on its own. Like, obviously, like having like updating like yeah, okay. I basically think we should be updating like the biomes from the biome votes, like from 2018 and 2019. I don't think there should be a single like update. So like the Badlands update, the Desert update, the Savannah update, and what's the other one called again? I forgot. The Oh, actually, yeah, that is pretty much it. There was three because they updated the swamp already. Well, they more have added another swamp. They added the mangrove. Um, I think they could update all three of those biomes, and I feel like they had a good opportunity for that in 1.19 actually. Like, we got the new swamp as well. So in 2018, the taiga won, and in 2019, the mountains won, and uh, the swamp was one of the losing biomes. But the thing is, though, the great thing about the biome votes is that they're going to update all of them, though. And I feel like in the wild update, they could have literally updated those biomes. Like, why didn't they do that? Like, there was, it's literally the wild update, so it doesn't make much sense to me. And they actually canceled quite a few things, like fireflies were promised and an updated birch forest, and then they came out with a BS PR video like, oh yeah, well we canceled this. Oh, fireflies are poisonous to frogs in real life, so we don't want to misrepresent or whatever it was, or whatever nonsense they said. It was something like that. Like, obviously it's because they couldn't add it. Like, it's just a PR statement, but yeah, they kind of overpromised and underdelivered. But I think 1.20 improved that with uh underpromising and overdeliver. Well, I'm not sure if that'd be like they didn't promise much in 1.20, and they added more that was promised when like the stuff actually, like the cherry biome, that wasn't even announced, but they added that. Like, they added the, forgot what they're called, but they're the armor trims. Those weren't announced at Minecon, Minecraft Live, whatever. But they added those. Like, like I think 1.20 improved on that. But I feel like 1.19 they could have actually added those stuff. Like, they could have actually updated the other three biomes. But whatever. Like, it's not really much of a wild update. Like, I mean, maybe the warden stuff. Like, you could like actually no, that's not even common. The structures, and which is a good thing. I'll get to that actually in a second. But in the mangrove swamp, you can sometimes find it, but like, yeah, they didn't add much to be honest. I mean, I'm not like, obviously, yeah, they're humans. I get it. Before people comment, oh, they're humans, though. That's where you have to understand architecture. Yeah, I understand that. But we're humans too, so maybe don't promise things you can't keep a promise on. So yeah, I think you have to understand that Mojang needs to understand. Yeah, we need to understand they're human beings, but they have to understand we're human beings too. We're not just going to be, oh yeah, we're cool with that. Like, yeah, okay, if you promise something and you can't deliver it, then yeah, you have to understand people are going to be disappointed. So I think it's BS when people say, oh, they're human beings, so we should treat them like, yeah, no kidding, but like, maybe they should not promise too much. But anyway, I think they should update those. Like, they actually did actually update desert a little bit in 1.20 by adding the camels, which is nice. Like it adds a new mob to the game, and it actually has a pretty unique ability allowing you to do a dash. So that's pretty cool. Although it might make the horse a little bit useless, I'm just going to say that's my only complaint. It might make it a little bit useless. So yeah, but anyway, and another thing is I was watching a cool video, and I'll put the video up on screen, but I was watching a video about how Minecraft's atmosphere, like the feeling of the game, is changing. And one of the criticisms brought up in the video is how common a lot of Minecraft structures, a lot of newer structures are. Like, and I'd never even thought about that, but like yeah, like as I thought about it, yeah, I mean they're a little bit too common. Like the thing about old structures is that like they were actually a bit rarer, and it was way more exciting when you found them, and it kind of also had a different feeling. Like I get it, some people want life in the game, but at the same time Minecraft's original feeling was that you're the only person in that world. Now maybe that's a bit different with multiplayer, of course, but like with single player, like just something I I thought that was a pretty great video, so obviously I think you should check the video out. But anyway, like some like he talked about how like some structures, like I brought up the deep dark, not the deep dark, the ancient city or whatever it's called. Like obviously some structures he said were like kind of like also sorry if you hear that, it's just some cats are playing in the closet. Sorry about that noise. They're just being stupid right now. But anyway, so some structures do a good job of not being too common or and are exciting when you find them, but some others aren't so much. And I totally agree with that, and I hadn't even thought about it until now. So once again, I think you should check it out. But anyway, so and that would probably be the easiest thing to do, just make them a little less common. And one more final thing, I think they need to actually start adding a bit more content to the game that actually um adds to the gameplay. It's like to the storyline. Like instead of adding a whole bunch of stuff that is not necessary, and like I get it, not everything has to be useful. That's another thing you brought up in the video, but I'm pretty sure you brought up. Yeah, I think so. Like instead of adding a whole bunch of things that aren't really like necessary, like I to the progression, yeah, as I was looking progression of the game. Like I think they need to actually add more stuff that will actually is directly in the progression that you need. And obviously they shouldn't overcomplicate it, but I think an end update, if they actually like add stuff to the end, um, then I think that could also help with the progression. But they also need, like, I think they need to fix some stuff. So not everything needs to be all very useful. Like I get it. At the same time, it's a sandbox game, so like they don't need the andesite, diorite, and granite blocks. And even a lot of people find that annoying. Those blocks very annoying because they just fill up the inventory with useless blocks because you can't even turn them into tools or anything like that. So they're pretty useless. But at the same time, though, um, those can be used for building though. So obviously they should have a balance. Not everything needs to be a part of the progression, but there needs to be a bit more to the progression at the same time. So they could possibly fix some stuff like that. I get it. Like they said they don't want to add the deep dark to the progression, like make it a requirement, and I get that, which is another thing. I think they probably should update the like add like the dimension at some time, but I guess I haven't really brought that up, one because I didn't think about that until just this second, and two because they're not going to do it anyway until they update all three dimensions and they're happy with all of them. But anyway, I think those are kind of my thoughts on what Minecraft should kind of update and what they should like probably like consider. And I get that they might not see this. I'm gonna go and it's pretty safe to presume that they're not gonna see this, but uh, I did just want to get out my thoughts and feelings about what I personally would like to see in game. And yeah, I get it. They probably won't add everything I want, and I was pretty vague about it. Like, other than maybe with some stuff, a few things, I was trying to be as vague as possible, while still giving some ideas. And I was being specific enough that you could understand what I was actually talking about. But anyway, I just wanted to get my feelings out in this video. So yeah, now, anyway, thought this would be a nice one-off video. So that'll be it for the video today. Hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.